Hi, my name is Kate Scroggins, and I'm going to speak about Icelandic Christmas folklore. To start off, I want to talk about the Christmas season and how Iceland celebrates Christmas. So, Christmas in Icelandic is called Yule or Yule. Yule, like Yuletide Carol, in the more American Danish terms. The Christmas season lasts 26 days from December 11th to January 6th. The first major day to kick off the Christmas, the days leading up to Christmas is December 23rd, which is the Mass of Saint Thorlak, who is Iceland's patron saint. Usually, on this day, it's a family gathering with a lot of food. On Christmas Eve, people tend to get together, eat, drink, open presents, relax, do some reading, or even go to Mass in the evening. And with Christmas and Boxing Day, they are pretty much the same as Christmas Eve, with relaxing with friends and family and going out to parties. Fun fact, there is a common food called lofabröd or leaf bread, similar to a Christmas cookie. These cookies can be cut into different designs and are very thin. Holidays are usually filled with a lot of sweets and traditional meats. Also, you're almost guaranteed a white Christmas, since even around Reykjavik, you can usually expect 40 centimeters of snow. Usually it also turns darker earlier, but there is a chance you can see the northern lights this time of year. Next, we'll be talking about the three major characters in Icelandic Christmas folklore, which is Grýla, Leopoldi, and their giant Christmas cat, which I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his actual Icelandic name. So Grilla is a big, ugly, trollish ogre woman who has a giant sack which she uses to kidnap children from the nearby village and bring them home to boil and then eat them. She cooks for her husband as well, who also eats children. So this joyful Christmas couple owns a cat who eats people if they don't get new clothes for Christmas. Many Icelandic guides and information say that they live in northern part of Iceland with their 13 children. Krila's 13 children are called the Yule Lads. In a very simplified way, they are like the seven dwarfs. And lucky for us, they don't eat people like their parents and cat. Each year, they travel down to the mountain and go into the countryside to cause mischief and have fun for the children in the 13 days leading up to Christmas. I also have all the names for the children for the 13 Yule lads down here. There is Sheepcoat Claude, who has stiff legs and chases sheep. And then there's Gluck, who steals milk from the milkmaid. There's Stubby, who is very small but snatches the food from the frying pans. Then there's Spoon Licker, who licks the spoons and is described as being very thin, probably because he only licks spoons. And then there's Pot Scraper, who scrapes pots. And then there's Bowl Licker, who licks bowls. Door Slammer slams doors. Skier Gobbler eats the skier. Sausage Swiper goes into your rafters and swipes your sausage while they like hang. And then there's Window Peeper, who peeps through your window. There's Doorway Sniffer, who has a very big nose, which he uses to sniff people's doorways, typically to find the leaf bread from earlier. Then there's Meat Hook, who steals your meat with his hook. And then there's Candle Stealer, who steals your candles. During the season, it's not uncommon to find people dressed up as the Yule Lads to entertain children, although I am worried about the person dressed up as Window Peeper. So here are some fun facts about Icelandic Christmas traditions. So there's this special tradition that happens on Christmas Eve called the Christmas Book Flood, which is a tradition that's been going on since World War II. Basically, on Christmas Eve, you receive a couple of books to read that night. Usually during the book festival in Reykjavik in November, a list of popular books with a lot of Icelandic authors is made, and people use that to pick out books for each other. The reasons why they came up with this during World War II was due to the fact that paper was one of the few things that weren't rationed. So it was easy to celebrate by giving books rather than food or other commodities. Another fun fact is that in 1746, parents were banned from using grilla to terrify their children into behaving. It is thought because of this ban that the Yule lads became more kid-friendly and mischievous rather than violent and scary like their parents. I, for one, kind of agree with the Icelandic government over this because I would be terrified too if I was told as a young kid that a big ugly woman would put me in a sack and boil me alive. And finally, I have the translation for the way to say Merry Christmas in Icelandic down here. So that is it for information about Icelandic folklore around Christmas. It is certainly an interesting time of year with the brutal and mischievous folklore mixing in with the cheery, warm atmosphere of the season, but that just makes it a great way to spend the holidays, in my opinion.